I am so excited that you guys are here with me right now. As we sit here, I'm on the precipice of achieving a decades-long dream because tomorrow night I am seeing Ariana Grande. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a concert in my entire life. Ariana Grande just does something for me. The things that woman can do with her voice are unparalleled. She is no competition, the best singer of our generation, in my humble opinion. Here's the kicker. I have left myself one day to sew my outfit for this show, and I don't even know what I'm sewing yet. It is currently 6 p.m. the night before the concert, and I'm gonna have to do the entire thing tomorrow. And I don't have a pattern picked out. I haven't bought fabric. Completely avoidable mistake? Yes, absolutely. But here we are. And of course, I need this outfit to be perfect. So we're in a very high pressure situation. But you know what? I do some of my best work under pressure. Sure, let's go with that. So my goal for tonight is really just to kind of pick what the heck I'm doing. Let's get into it. By the way, if you are new here, hello, my name is Hannah. Welcome to my channel. I make content about all things sewing and fashion. So if you are into that kind of thing, thank you for being here and feel free to hit subscribe below to stay updated on all of my new videos. Now with that out of the way, let's talk. I have kind of two main general concepts that I am considering here. I definitely kind of want to capture some era of Ariana Grande with this outfit. I don't necessarily want to replicate an exact outfit that she's worn, but I'm pulling inspiration. Option number one, if you're an Ariana Grande fan, I'm sure you recognize her iconic green, light green outfit from her Positions era with, the bralette top and the mini skirt. I've always loved that outfit. I love the color. Again, I don't want to recreate that exact outfit. So I'm thinking if I went in that direction, I would probably keep the mini skirt concept because I do have a really great mini skirt pattern that I've made a couple of times. It's by Not Your Cherry Designs. I'll link the pattern down below. It's a fantastic pattern. So I was thinking I could make that mini skirt in that same kind of green color. And then for the top, asymmetrical tops are very in right now. I love a good asymmetrical top. And I've had this pattern saved for a while. I'm blanking on who it's by. I think it's Eleonora Designs is the pattern maker. Again, I'll link it below, but it's this really cute, like strapless, asymmetrical tube top with a little ring detail. And I've always really, really loved that pattern and I've never bought it. So I think a matching set with the mini skirt and that top could be very cute and very Ariana Grande. So that's concept number one. Concept number two, and the one that I do think I'm leaning more towards, is a white and black polka dot moment. Polka dots are obviously very in right now, and I've kind of been wanting to make something polka dotted anyways. I don't totally know exactly what I would make with that. What I'm seeing in my head is probably some kind of like halter mini dress. I don't know, but I'm really drawn to the polka dots. And every time I consider the green, my heart's like, but Hannah, the polka dots. But I feel like if I'm gonna do that, I need to have an actual pattern in mind. So one moment. Okay, that took all of about 3 seconds to find a literal perfect pattern. What I found is called the Tiara Dress by Janelle Patterns. It's kind of perfect. It's a bias cut mini dress, which, bias cut's always a little bit tricky. Should I be attempting a bias cut dress in one day? Maybe, maybe not, but it says it's an easy pattern, so it looks really cute. My one thing with this style of halter top is obviously you can't wear a bra with it. And I feel like sometimes my boobs look a little weird in like a looser fitting halter like that where you can't wear a bra. I don't know. I hope it's only girls here. My boobs are a little more like to the side. Like they don't, they're not, you guys know what I mean. And sometimes I feel like they look a little bit weird in a top like this. So that is a bit of a risk, but it's super cute. And I've really been wanting something like this. So another thing to consider is timing. And honestly, I think making 2 pieces in one day, like making that mini skirt and making a top I've never made before, might be a bit too much to ask. I'm gonna sleep on this. I have a feeling we're gonna go with the polka dot. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but hey, it's happening, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, it is currently 10:59 a.m. Late start, yes, but it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. So in the wee hours of the morning, I went ahead and bought my fabric. It's this really cute white and black polka dot. And then I also got the lining fabric, and I went to my local library to print out the pattern, which is 44 pages. So we need to get started taping this ASAP because I honestly think that this is going to be the longest like single step of the entire process, because the dress itself is pretty easy. I read all the instructions, I watched the video tutorial. I don't think the dress itself is going to take like that long. So we are going to get started taping all 44 pieces of this pattern together. Let's go. I was in such a rush earlier, I forgot to put my mic on, so hopefully the audio is a little better now. We are done taping, so I think I'm gonna have to move my sewing table and spread this out on the ground and then do all the masking tape to make sure that it stays together all nice and pretty. So we need to get a move on. Let's go. Oh God. Ah! Everything's fine, it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
One eternity later.
My back. So obviously, given the very limited amount of time that I have, I will not be having any extra time to do a mock-up, which I know it's always a mistake to not do a mock-up, but here we are. I really, really hope that this goes well because this fabric was really expensive. Altogether, buying this and the lining, it was like $87, which is kind of ridiculous. Normally I go down to the fashion district to buy my fabric, which is like significantly cheaper, but I did not have time to drive like 40 minutes downtown. So I just went to my local fabric store, which is really expensive. It's especially kind of annoying because this fabric is literally polyester. Like it's not like it's some crazy nice fabric, but you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. I also do think I overbought on the fabric, but it's better to overbuy than to underbuy. And this dress is cut on the bias, which uses a little more fabric than a non-bias cut, so it's a little more wasteful, but it does also make the dress fit a lot nicer. It adds a little bit of stretch, and that's why this pattern can be done without a zipper. So our first pattern piece is laid out. It is currently, what time is it? Okay, it is 1:13. I have maximum about 4.5 hours-ish to get this done. Am I feeling nervous? A little bit, but I have faith in myself. So if you're not familiar with what bias cut is, bias cut basically means that you are cutting on the diagonal grain of the fabric instead of the straight grain. Especially with a slippery fabric like this, it definitely does make sewing a little bit harder. The fabric just doesn't behave quite as nicely when you're cutting on the bias, but a little bit of practice and it's not too bad. The really important thing is just making sure that you are cutting your piece out very, very accurately. So usually there'll be a marking on the pattern that shows what the straight grain lineup should be, and you just measure from the selvage edge to the straight grain to make sure that you're actually cutting perfectly on the bias. Why is there not an alarm that tells you when your bobbin runs out or when it's close to running out? How has sewing technology not figured this out yet. I'm not panicking, you're panicking, okay? We have an hour left, but we're making really good progress. So we have successfully sewed together the full main dress, as well as the lining dress. But next up is to attach the lining to the main, and then it's just the necktie. So yeah, so we just have to attach these two, I think tack them down at the sides and do the necktie and then hem the dress. Okay, if this doesn't fit me, I'm gonna cry. This is definitely like, I feel like this is the point in every project where I start getting really nervous that it's not gonna turn out well because I've worked on it so long and I'm like emotionally attached to it. And if it comes out and it looks bad, it's deeply upsetting. So let's hope that I don't need any alterations, that this just fits like a glove and everything is perfect. Guys, I'm in too much of a rush and I'm messing things up. I inserted the lining into the dress and I should have been inserting the dress into the lining. It's okay though. I have the perfect song for this. Okay, YouTube, please don't take my video down because of copyright. So I am gonna be a little naughty and skip a few steps that I would normally never advise skipping because they definitely really do change the quality of your, fuck, that was wrong. Clipping the wrong thing. Okay. They definitely do change the quality of the garment, but in the interest of time, I kind of have to skip them for now, and they are steps that I can go back and do later. So for now, I am going to skip understitching, which is basically when you stitch the seam allowance to the main fabric, like the seam allowance of the lining to the main fabric, and it basically helps prevent the lining from rolling out as you wear the dress. I don't have time to do that, so I'm not gonna do it. And then I'm honestly probably, this might be a mistake, but I'm honestly going to not hem the lining. And if it frays while I wear it, I can always just trim it a little shorter because it's just the lining. So I'm gonna skip those steps. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me, but sometimes it's necessary. But in good news, we have, we have a dress, I think. What is happening? Why is this so confusing? Guys, look, there it is, dress, and there's the back. It's coming out pretty well. I have, oh my God, how much time do I have? It's 5:45. I actually realized we really don't need to leave until 7. I think I can get ready in 30 minutes. So I've got about 45 minutes to press this and do the entire necktie and hem it. Let's go. I have used a lot of things as a makeshift loop turner. The cover of my scissors was not my best ever choice, but you know what? It works. I haven't even tried this on. If I put it on and I hate it, I'm probably gonna cry, but it'll be okay. Yeah. I have other things. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Hey guys, Future Hannah here. As I'm sitting here editing the video, I realized that is the very last video that I took before finishing the dress and sprinting out the door to make the show. So I'm sorry for that, but in exchange, please accept these mediocre videos of the show as well as a belated, yes, but very thorough final reveal video and some bonus content with a few fun little alterations at the end. Here we have reveal number 1. This is the first iteration of the dress and the state that it went to the concert in. As you can see, I didn't even have time to hem the outer fabric before I had to run to the show. But you know what? For the amount of time that I had, I was honestly really happy with how this came out. I got several compliments, which was very exciting. And overall, this dress really did come out pretty much exactly like I envisioned it, especially the back. I love the back. I thought it was so elegant and flattering. All of that said, there were a few things that I definitely needed to fix. Number one being the length. I definitely, in my haste, cut it a little bit too short and was risking a wardrobe malfunction. So I think I'm gonna add a ruffle to the bottom to fix that. And then the other issue that I wanted to fix is there was a bit of gaping at the sides. It was just a little bit too big around the arm area and in the back. So I decided to fix that. I think what's gonna be the move is doing like a little back dart in the center back. I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna go ahead and attempt to add a ruffle to the bottom to fix the length and fix some of this gaping. But first, as promised, here are some very mediocre videos from the show. So let's do these alterations. Also, I'm gonna be totally real with you guys. The concert was like 2 weeks ago and I'm just now getting around to finishing this. So yeah, as I mentioned, number one, I do wanna take it in a little bit at the back to help with some of the gaping on the sides. I think taking it in at the back is the right move. I think if I just do that little dart like I showed you in the back, that it'll be fine, pretty sure. So we're gonna do that. And then also, as I mentioned, the other issue here is I did cut her a little bit short. So instead of just hemming, I'm gonna go the ruffle route. So we're gonna see, I hope adding a ruffle at the bottom looks cute. And I also hope I have enough fabric left to cut one continuous piece for the ruffle. I actually hadn't thought about that. I hope so, we're gonna find out. If not, I can always patchwork two things together. What that is, everybody, that is good enough. It's done. You guys, I'm so happy with how this turned out. I was worried I wouldn't like the ruffle because I was definitely kind of initially attached to the idea of like a very sleek and classy silhouette for this dress. But honestly, I really like the ruffle. I think it adds just like a nice, fun little flirty element. I do feel like I need to like go out dancing in this dress or something. Not that I know how to like dance the tango, but I feel like I could dance the tango or something tango adjacent in this dress. I don't know. And then I'm also very excited because my little back dart alteration that I kind of just like made up on the spot, it worked. I love when that happens. The gaping in the front is totally gone, so it definitely did its job. One thing, adding the dart did create kind of like a little bit of a lump here in the back of the dress, which isn't my favorite thing, but I do feel like if I try to go and fix it, I'm probably just gonna make it worse. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. Overall, I'm just pretty happy that this alteration actually worked and that the ruffle came out well. It added just like the perfect amount of coverage while still keeping the dress very fun and flirty. And I do feel like a little bit of Ariana Grande is inside of this dress. That was an odd thing to say, but I said it. Well, guys, I guess that's kind of it. Thank you so much for being here. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more of my content. And please comment below with your thoughts, your questions, anything. I love to hear from you guys. Again, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and I will see you guys next time.